everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is episode 9, I think, of Chatting with Alana. A lot of things to talk about. I'm kind of thinking this may be a longer video. I'm not 100% sure. If it's gonna be, I may end up just breaking it down into two videos, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I have a whole list that I want to talk about. I've been writing this down over the last week to remember, talk about this, talk about this, talk about this. A lot of fun stuff. We went to Indiana and I've got stuff to show you guys. We went to Wisconsin and I've got some stuff to show you guys. Upcoming projects, another update for the 2021 Directional Sampler Afghan, all that kind of stuff. Oh, and I'm going to show you guys some upcoming projects. Oh, I'm so excited. So, we're going to start with number 1 on my list, and that is, oh, oops, sorry, I bumped the camera. Before we get started, I got a rocker glider chair. I'm so excited. If you guys follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all that, I posted a picture a couple weeks ago, a month ago maybe, that I got this chair off of Facebook Marketplace. It's a funny story. We're just going to go ahead and talk about it. I had gotten off work, and I sat down in the chair watching TV for a few minutes, and I just dozed off, and I didn't mean to. I'm not a nap taker. I don't like taking naps because I feel like there's so much I could have gotten done while I was sleeping. That, and I never feel good when I wake up from a nap. But anyway, so I was laid down, and I fell asleep, and then I just popped awake, and I was like, oh man. Well, I opened my phone, and I looked at it, and I had a notification from Facebook saying, hey, you know, you looked at this stuff on Marketplace, what about this? And it happened to be this chair. And I thought, ooh, I'm so excited. So I messaged the woman, right away, I'm just instant messaging her. You know, every time she replies, boom, I'm right back. You know, and worked out. I got the chair. It comes with a gliding foot thing too. It's down here. I've got stuff stacked all around me right now to show you guys, but I love it. I think this chair is beautiful. The colors of it. It could probably use a little bit of a, you know, like restuffing it, but I think it'll be alright. I mean, it doesn't hurt my butt when I sit on it for too long, but I don't want to do it because I'll mess it up, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to mess it up. But super happy I got the chair. And I cleaned it up. I dusted it. I, you know, tightened everything. I'm happy with it. 20 bucks. And I couldn't believe 20 bucks for, I mean, it's sturdy. It's not, you know, cheap wood or anything. But yeah, so I was happy with that. Okay, so now we're going to jump into my list. The first thing I have on my list is the 2021 Directional Sampler Afghan update. Would you believe a couple weeks ago, it's been a while since I've done this because, you know, I got really super busy with work and girls started volleyball, but in one weekend, I sat down and I made all of the remaining blocks. So, by the time you guys are seeing this, it's probably September. I'm filming this about 4 o'clock on the 31st. But on that weekend, I finished August. I finished September, October, November, December. And then I finished extra block 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I filmed all of those. I made all of those, wrote the patterns, got them filmed, got the patterns up on Etsy for sale, and yeah, I worked my butt off that weekend, but I got it done because, and the reason I did that is because my girls started volleyball, and they're both in high school now, so that it is practice every day, game every other day. So I knew, you know, looking forward to the next couple months, I was going to be so busy with volleyball and work and you know, the girls at school, and that I wasn't going to be able to film as much as I'd like to. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to get all of this done and get it out of the way. So I did, and it took me all weekend, but I got it done. So I'm happy to say that. So then after I got all that done, I got to I got to thinking, okay, so now what's the next step? So I laid out all my blocks in the different, um, different, what is the word I'm trying to think of? The different ways to lay it out. So, like, for instance, I did a checkerboard and I took a picture, and then I did, two stripes on the outside of one color and then two stripes on the inside of one color, and I did that and I took pictures and I had my girls help me. I'm like, okay, tell me which other ways I can set this up, because I'm not seeing it. So we got it all set up and took all these different pictures and it looks beautiful. I'm super happy with it. So then my next thought is, all right, how are we going to sew it together? Well, I think I'm going to let you guys decide what you want to do, but I'm going to do a tutorial course of how I do it. And I think I'm going to use, I'm just going to whip stitch it. Needle and, my yarn needle and my yarn, and just stitch it together that way. But I'm going to let you guys do whatever you want to do for it. And I haven't gotten past that part. So border, I don't know. I kind of want to sew it together first to see how, it's looking for there. I just realized I forgot my coffee. But, yeah, so super proud of myself to get all that done. And I'd say once volleyball slows down, I think it's over in October, but I'm going to start working on sewing it together and all that. And I am going to do, I know I've said this and I've been putting it off, but I am going to do a dedicated update video for that Afghan. I know I said I was going to do it, but I keep putting it off, I keep putting it off, and I keep putting it off, and I don't mean to do that, but, life happens. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. Okay, so, like I told you guys, that weekend I spent getting all that stuff done. Well, another thing that I got to thinking is, next year's annual project, and I think I'm going to keep that going, because every year we're going to have something that we're going to do together. It may not be a blanket, it may be a blanket, I don't know. I haven't, I'm just focused on next year. And so this year, we had each month a different block, and then we're going to sew all those together. Well, next year, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a big Afghan, and it's going to be I haven't fully designed it, but I've got an idea in my mind. My creative juices started going and going and going and going, and what I think I'm going to do is that I'm going to do a big Afghan. I'm talking like possibly king size Afghan, and it's more decorated for decorative purposes, not, I mean, you can use it, but it's going to be probably wholly, it's going to have holes in it. But I think what we're going to do is have a 4, maybe 5, maybe 6 blocks that we're going to make. But one of those blocks we may need to make 70 of, and another block may need to be 40 of. I don't know. It's not those exact counts, but that's what I'm looking at. So I'm looking at, okay, so having said that, what's also is going on is that I've taken I'm not an expert, but what little knowledge I have of quilting, like quilt blocks, different, putting together different, quilt blocks and making a design. So you've got like the flying geese, you've got the card trick, you've got, all these other ones. But I'm using that knowledge that I have, which is not a lot, and then transferring that into crochet blocks. And then we make it, like, I know for you guys that don't quill or don't sew or whatnot, it may sound a little confusing or daunting. It's not. It's going to be super fun. And like I always say, I'm going to be there for every step with you guys. I get emails, I get comments or messages, asking for help, and I try to do the best I can on those. So you are not going to be left behind. I will not do that. So, that's next year's project coming up. So keep an eye out for that. I don't have it fully designed, but I have what I'm wanting to happen in my mind. So the next thing on my topic is some upcoming tutorials you guys are gonna see. I've been working on a few things. So first, if you guys remember, I'd say it was a couple months ago maybe, I had showed you guys some things that I had found at an old antique thrift. I almost just want to call them junk stores because that's what it is. Some of them, you know, just a bunch of junk, but some of them's got, you know, fancier stuff. But if you guys remember, I found this, and I didn't realize when I bought it until what I should have said is I didn't realize until after I picked it up what this was. So it looks like, you know, a little stuffed, I'm gonna guess bear. I don't know. But what I did was like picked up the head, and there's something in it, and it's actually, I had this off, but I don't want to mess with it because it's old comic cleaner, and what it is she had crocheted this around it. Well, I started messing with it and shot comet everywhere, so I'm not gonna do that. But I saw this, and instantly I thought, that is adorable. And then second thought was, I am gonna make using this concept, not this design, but this concept, and make a hiding jar. But I wanted it to be a teddy bear. So I sat down and I designed and I designed and I made it and I made it, and I did probably about 4, and I couldn't stand them. They looked horrible. I did not like them. So started all over again. Finally found made a design that I liked. I still needed to tweak it. Still needed to tweak it a little bit, but I came up with this. And then I screwed it on there too tight there. Sorry about that. I heard something going in the other room, and I forgot I left the TV on. I thought somebody was here. I was like, what? Anyhow, so this is what I made, and I crocheted it around a half-pint mason jar. And I made this, and I thought, I need to shut my TV off. But I thought, you know, I like it. I can do better. I know I can do better. So I sat down and I started all over again, and I made one, and I thought, this is it. This is the design that I like. And I realize it looks pretty similar, but there are differences that I love this. I think this is so cute. Now I did want to kind of do something around the neck right here, like how I ran the chain kind of like bow thing. I thought, you know, maybe I could do something like that, but I just never got around to that. But so this is the one. This is my final draft. This is the one that I'm gonna do the tutorial on. And now this one, when I made it, I didn't hot glue the jar into the body, because in my mind I thought, okay, you know, you go to screw this back on, if you don't screw it on right, it's gonna be sitting like that. So when I made this one, I thought, well, I'm gonna hot glue the body to the jar, which was a better idea because you can open it, like it's easier to open. I did have some mints in there, but I guess I ate them all. And then you just screw the head back on. Ta-da! Isn't it adorable? I think this may be the next tutorial that you see, so probably Sunday, I think that's September 4th. I'm sorry, Monday, September 5th, Labor Day, I am going to be posting this tutorial. Adorable. I love these things. So yeah, I got this idea from what I bought at a thrift store. And then the next project I got going, I can't reach, so I'm going to pause this, I'm going to go shut my TV off. and then I'm going to show you the next tutorial you're going to see. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Got my TV shut off. Got my coffee too. So the next project I wanted to show you about, I've seen this on Pinterest, I've seen this on YouTube, you know, everybody's seen it, but I changed it to what I liked better. So what these are, I'll just show you what I have first. So I have two pairs of glasses. I have these, and then I have this pair, which is, they have a little bit of a bifocal on the bottom because my eyesight has gone downhill. But what I made is these little pieces that hang off your glasses. Me being a new eyeglass wearer, I'm not, I don't always have them on my face. So I think these are adorable. I know I look like a grandma, but I love them. And all I do, like, is right here's my bifocals, so these, when I'm crocheting with them, I'm setting like this and I can see better. Then once I'm done, when I look up, I don't like having to look past the bifocals, so I just take them off and let them hang off my neck. I love these things, and I have made a bunch. Now, when I do the tutorial for these, I'm going to explain this in better detail, but I made these using size 3 crochet thread. So I've got these two. Like, this is red with a little gold bead, and then this is white with a purple pink bead, and I got this all from Walmart. And then I made some using size 10 thread, which is a little bit smaller. Yeah, this is the, I couldn't find it. This is the size 10 thread, and it is white with a copper bead, a copper color bead. But I'll show all you guys all that in the tutorial. And then I made a purple one with a clear, like a clear bead. And then, now if you don't crochet with thread, don't panic yet, because I got more. Then I made this one out of the smallest thread I have ever crocheted with, which is a size 30, a size 30. And this is a light green with a pink bead. And you know what? I think I almost like the really thin one. Here, I'll show you in a second. But then I made one out of yarn. Now granted, this one may be a little, oh, it's obviously not long enough, but it may be, I don't know, I don't think it would look too bad. I kind of like it. You know, if you guys didn't want to make them out of thread and you just wanted to crochet them out of yarn, I don't think it would look too bad. I would do it. I would wear it. It's almost lighter. Like, what I'm trying to say is the weight of this is almost lighter. And this one I just made with yarn and pony beads from Walmart. I kind of like that. I think I might have to make more with the yarn because this is the only one I made. But, and these really tiny ones, obviously when you make them with the bead, you obviously have to have I think the hook, oh, I should start this over. What I'm trying to say is that when you're crocheting these, you have a crochet hook. This is size 30 thread. You have a crochet hook, this is what I'm making right now, that, you know, works the heart stitch. Then you have a different crochet hook for the bead. So what I would do is I would make my heart, bring my bead up, hold my work, and then get my, like, I think I made this with a 1 millimeter crochet hook. And then I used a 0.75 crochet hook to put the bead on my work, which and I'll show you guys all that when I do the tutorial for these. But I love them. I wear them all the time, and my girls are like, "You are such a grandma," and blah blah blah. And I just look at them and I say, "Don't hate me 'cause you ain't me." Yeah. Anyway, so those are the 2 upcoming tutorials you guys are gonna see. But having talked about that, I want to talk to you guys about some things I've added to my arsenal. And by arsenal, I mean my crochet arsenal. So I have 2 hook cases. I have, this one is my main one, and then this one is my thread one, and then I do a little bit of, and I haven't in a long time, I do a little bit of, spit it out, loom knitting. I don't know why I couldn't. Anyhow, so I do a little bit of loom knitting, and I have some of my little hooks in here, but I added to my arsenal, and what I mean by that is I had one, no, I didn't have one. I had a couple of these smaller hooks, which these are ranged from, I think the smallest is, yeah, 0.7, no, I have a 0.6. Yeah, I have a, I think you guys can see that. I have a 0.6 millimeter crochet hook. I haven't used it. And then it goes up to 2.75. And so I thought, you know what? I've got so much going on. I want to make doilies. You know, and I actually have one sitting right here that I had gotten from an antique store that I thought about, you know, doing what I do, buy stuff, and then I just sit here and I pick through all of this, write down, and then I make it. And then I thought about making, you know, a doily, which there are so many things you can do with a doily. Like that. Set it on the back of your chair, a centerpiece on a table, like on your arm of your couch. There's so many things you can do with a doily. But I thought about making those, and then I want to start. I had posted these things on my Facebook page, and I asked, can you guess what they are? And one of you guys said bookmarks, and I was like, you're a genius, I want to make a bookmark. So, you know, that's another thing I want to add. So just those things are going to need a whole nother, you know, crochet set. So I thought, you know what, I've had this thing forever. I think it was like the very first one I ever bought. And I thought, I'm going to turn this into my lace / you know, thread crochet set. And then this is my normal one. So I got those hooks, and I thought, you know, I've been making those eyeglass cable things. And one thing that I thought I've got to add, well, 2 actually, that I've got to add to this case are Band-Aids. And the other one with my pack of pins is lotion. This is actually a lotion I got from my hotel room that we stayed at, and I brought it home. It works good. But look, Band-Aids and lotion, and the reason is when you work with thread and you work with it for hours, you know how your yarn leaves an indentation in your finger, or whichever finger it does. Thread is so thin that it kind of starts to feel like, you know, I'm pretty sure this is gonna cut open if I don't cover this. So a good thick fabric feeling Band-Aid, not one of the I don't want to say cheap, but the ones that are like real slick, the thread wouldn't even, like, there would be no point in using it because the thread's just going to come right off of it and then just do the same thing down your finger. But if you get those fabric ones, I'll just open one and I'll show you. It almost like it grips. See how that's like a fabric? Well, you can see the woven like kind of texture to it. It grips the thread and it holds the thread where you would normally, the thread would normally, or yarn would normally run across your finger. Now, for the lotion, I tend to get, and it's just me, I've been like this, my mom's the same way, my daughter's the same way. I have clammy hands. I always have had clammy hands. And if I'm hot, if I'm up doing something and, you know, like I'm cleaning house and I'm getting sweaty, my hands will sweat and they'll swell up. But if I'm sitting down and I'm crocheting for hours on end, they will get so dry, I can't keep attention on the thread. But if I use lotion, like I, you know, get all lotioned up and start, that fluff that just flew by, I just blew off myself. Anyway, it'll help keep tension, you know, between your fingers. And so I added that. And then I got pens. Now I wanted a multicolor set because the few things that I have designed with thread, you'd repeat more than one time. So you may repeat it for, well, I have one that I did 2, 4, 6 times. So I just, every time I repeat it, I made a mark in one color, then I made a mark in another color, a mark in another color. So I definitely wanted to add that. And then I got a little pin case. And then I found in an old nail, like I cannot find my words today, guys. Manicure set. The perfect little pair of scissors for thread, for my little thread set. Just a little pair of scissors from a manicure set. Oh, kind of off, well, not off topic, but what I had said earlier about me always having, you know, clammy hands and stuff, I actually, anytime that I buy, I think these are like mainly in shoes, but anytime I buy anything that has these little silica packs, I keep them and I put them in my crochet packs because it absorbs moisture and keeps my needles and my scissors from rusting. Like, that's how bad I get. Like, I have needles that are so rusted you can't use them anymore because they would they would definitely turn whatever you run that needle through rusty. So I have to have those. Or cotton balls. I've done cotton balls too. Like this is a needle pack, and I shoved one of those silica packs down in there because I don't want the needles to rust. But those are just really thin. You know what? They're really thin needles to weave in my ends for anything that I, you know, make out of thread. They're not blunt, but they're not sharp. Like, this doesn't hurt, but if I did it much harder, I'm sure it'd probably hurt. I will, if you guys are interested, I will put a link in the description box. I got those off of YouTube. Amazon. And they came with bigger ones too for, you know, size 4 yarn. I don't think you could probably use it for like a blanket size yarn, but this normal 4 weight, maybe a smaller 5 weight works perfect. Add link for needles. Okay. If you guys are interested, I got that link in the description box to the Amazon that I got that from. Alright. So, on the back side, oh, I've got ultra thin crochet hooks. I don't remember where I got some of these. These are like older ones that I've had for years or somebody gave me. Now like this pin, that is for loom knitting, and what I did was I cut the end of a pin off, and then I run the thread through the pin, and then like if you're e-wrapping, you just, you know, you don't have to go between the pegs, you just work in that pin through there. And then I use little pencil grips. I use those two on there. Oh, and then I got my stitch markers. But yeah, that is my thread case. Well then, having talked about, you know, what I'm going to start making out of thread, I'm also designing things made out of blanket yarn, so big, thicker yarn. And my niece, if you guys, was it my last Chattin with Alana? Maybe 8, I think it may have been. She was my little helper. Anything I make, like if honestly, if I'm designing things and it does not look good, like it's my rough draft, as I call them, they're my rough drafts, until I get my final draft, I'll make something 2 or 3 times. I'll give them to her, and that girl will play and play and play with those. Like she's gonna love. Her birthday's coming up. I'm gonna give her some of my curly Q dolls. I make her all kinds of stuff. But anyway, one thing that I have been designing to give to her is a blanket yarn teddy bear. Now this is actually my final draft. I haven't done the arms and legs yet. But this is one thing I'm making. Now I've got boxed up for her the rough draft for it. But so I got this done, well, minus arms and legs. So then I started thinking, well, I kind of want one bigger. I don't know. I'd say that probably sits at 8 inches maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so I thought, you know what? I already did the thread size crochet kit. Now I'm going to add to my normal one for my blanket size. So in this little bad boy, I've got my normal everyday crochet hooks. Now I've got my clover, and then on this side I've got my boy and my hero hooks. And then well, I guess I don't have them. So when I first started crocheting, I started with boy, and then I moved up to Susan Bates. I loved Susan Bates. Well, then I started using clover. I wanted to try them, and I've never went back to anything else. I've been with clover. I've tried tulip. I'm not the biggest. I don't like furls. I can't do a furls. But man, are they pretty. Dang, those are pretty hooks. But like I said, I've been clover ever since. But I've been to a few auctions. I've been to a few antique stores, thrift shops, junk stores, and have found old crochet hooks. And I can't help it, I've got to buy them. And I've got some heroes, like here's a hero hook that's made in the US. I found that. I've got all kinds of them. I have Susan Bates. Like you guys, I'm sure you guys know way more than I do about Susan Bates hooks. But Susan Bates is made in Mexico, correct? But I have some Susan Bates that are made in the U.S. Now, I don't know if that was before Mexico, or am I wrong? It was Mexico first, now it's U.S., I don't know. But I thought those were cool, so I kept those. But the front side is my normal crochet set. And then, on the back, I turned into my blanket size. So this is like, so you have the 6.5 millimeter, and then you go up from there. I think the yellow is a 7, and then I got my 8 millimeter, then my 9, which I'm actually working with right now, and then I've got the 10 and the 12. Now these wood ones, We were on vacation in Tennessee, and I needed a larger hook, and we went to Walmart, and I thought, well, these are pretty, you know, I see these all the time. But in the back of my mind, like way back in there, I was going, Alana, don't buy them. You're not gonna like them. You're not gonna like those hooks. There's no point in even getting them. But in the front of my mind is, oh, I'm gonna get these to see if they're good. Yeah, well, hindsight 2020. Listen to what the back of your mind says when you don't do it. But yes, I got those, and I'm not big on them. I should have never bought them. And then I got this one for from Hobby Lobby. It's a 9mm. So like this has more of like a throat and a shaft of Susan Bates. I love these kind of crochet hooks for making the kitchen scrubbies that I have. I have a video on this channel to make kitchen scrubbies, and I've honestly, now that I know more of the technical aspect of filming and editing and all that, I've seriously thought about going back and redoing that video and my hot pad video, because I can, you know, clear them up a little bit. But these hooks are perfect for tulle. They catch that long throat, or the long shaft. Like here's the throat, here's the shaft. That is perfect for making those little tulle kitchen scrubbies. I have so many of those. We go through them all the time. But I love that for that. But, so, those of you that, you know, crochet with that thick blanket yarn, like Bernat blanket yarn is what I'm talking about. I don't have stitch markers for those. Well, I didn't. I bought some. I'll talk to you about that later. But I have some Lobster Clips from Walmart, and these work great for that. Now there's two kinds. There's one with a little design on the bottom, and then there's one that doesn't have a design. The one with the design, perfect for blanket yarn. It comes with a little loop on the bottom, but what I did was I got 2 pair of needle nose pliers, right? And I wrapped this in toilet paper, grabbed it with one set of pliers, and then on the bottom loop that it comes with there, I just grabbed that with the other set of pliers and twisted in a circle, and it pops right off. And there's your little stitch marker. Now this one is a little, I mean, obviously you can kind of tell it's a little bit smaller, but when you snap the bottom off of this one, it doesn't work, because it's like on the bottom of this one it's closed, but on the bottom of this one it's open, so all the mechanics and the you know, for the clip are exposed, and it just does not work. So look for the Lobster Clip that has the design on the bottom. See the swirls? That's the one you want. Or just buy big stitch markers. But that's what I use. I love that little Lobster Clip. So I turned the back of my normal crochet set into my big blanket, my big yarn set. So that's, oh, something else I added to my thread set, which I need, is a headlamp. What I do is I turn this on, and then see how it comes down like that? So I can set with my my bifocal glasses, and then crochet with that thread just like this. And I can do it in the dark and doesn't bother Matt. So he can watch his shows, and I just sit there with my little headlamp on and crocheting with thread. So that's the other thing I added to my little arsenal. I stole it from him. You'd be surprised of some of the things you can find that are really, really useful in your husband, boyfriend, whatever, in their toolbox. I do it all the time. I took his, I don't know if you guys saw that, I did a video showing, I took his, what is that called? A fish line stripper? I don't know, you put your fishing line on it and turn it on, and it pulls all the fishing line off your rod, or your reel. I turned that into a device that pulls all my yarn out of my skein, and then I put it in a tote. If you guys haven't seen that, it's one of my Chattin with Alana videos. Look for it, you'll find it. It's funny. Okay, now what are we up to? Alright. Look at my little list here. Okay, so I do want to talk. Another thing that I was kind of working on. This isn't necessarily something that you're going to see. I started making a baby blanket. And I started with a Caron 1 pound. And the color is Hollyhock. So the stitch pattern that I was using, I realized, you know what, this is going to take a lot of yarn to do this. So I thought, I'm going to go ahead and just order 2 more skeins. I'd rather have too much than not enough. So I go to order this yarn, and I cannot find it anywhere. I can't find it on, you know, Yarnspirations, Joann's, Michael's. Nowhere can I find this this color of Caron 1 pound. So I was like, okay. So I stepped away from it because it made me mad. And, you know, that's a lot of the reason why you haven't seen a baby blanket pillow outfit set lately, is because I kind of messed up. So I got super aggravated and I walked away from it, and I did my other projects. Well, then here recently, about August 6th is exactly the day, I went back to, okay, I've got to find this yarn. I want to get this baby blanket out. I want to get the pillow set out, and I want to design. It'll be a dress this time, a dress or sweater with this stitch pattern. And I can't find the yarn. I can't find it anywhere. And I need the color Hollyhock, and I cannot find it. Well, I come across this place called, this website. Yeah, I think it's out of South or North Carolina. I don't remember. It's called Peg's Yarn Barn. And I found it, the color that I need, on their website. So I was like, great, you know, I'm gonna get 2, and I'm sure that's gonna fit. That's gonna be more than enough. But I'm gonna do 2. And I had already gone through an entire skein of a Caron 1 pound for this baby blanket, and I wasn't even a quarter, maybe I may have been a quarter of the way through the baby blanket. So I thought, I'm gonna get 2 skeins, and I ordered that. Well, then a week later, I'm like, you know what? I got an email and I paid with PayPal, and I got an email saying, we got your order. We got your order. We are getting it prepared for shipment. It's pending. Yada yada yada. So I don't forget about it, but I move on with my other stuff. Well, then that following week, I'm like, I still haven't gotten an email that it's shipped. So I got back on there and I looked at it, and it said pending. Your order is pending. Your order is pending. And I'm like, a week and it's still pending? And I was like, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's a small business. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm not going to rush it. So I let it go for another week. And I go back on there, and it still says it's pending. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I emailed. And I emailed the Peg's Yarn Barn, and nothing. So 2 days later, I emailed again, and nothing. And I'm like, oh my God, you are making, yeah. And today is, like I said, today is August, is it the 30th? Yeah, it's the 31st. Nothing. They will not return my email. I can't get a refund because I did it through PayPal. Yeah. I even wrote down on this list, Peg's Yarn Barn, sorry guys, Peg's Yarn Barn bullshit. Because that is bullshit. You do not, oh man, it's nobody will answer my emails. Nobody will get a hold, nothing. So I'm just sitting here. Well, I guess I'm out $30 for the shipping and, you know, the 2 skeins of yarn for nothing. I don't know what to do. I don't know. And I went to PayPal, and PayPal says they can't refund it because she accepted the payment. I don't know. So that's got me aggravated. Yeah. I don't remember why I started telling you that, because I thought that was going to lead into something else. But I don't know. Yeah, that has gotten me so aggravated. But okay, so the next thing I want to tell you guys, not a big deal. I'm still sticking with the low carb lifestyle. I don't want to say diet, the low carb lifestyle. It's been a massive, massive, massive learning curve. Holy crap. I mean, and that's kind of why I haven't done anything on my cooking channel, is because some of this stuff I literally just pulled together, threw it together. Eat it if you don't, you know, eat it or not. You like it, you don't. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to cook. It's, ugh. And I like to have a lot of variety in my dinners. Like, I don't like to have, and I'm just using this as an example, pizza one night and then 2 days later, well, I don't know what to make, so I'll just pizza again. You know what I mean? I'm not that, I like to have a lot of variety in what I have. But I quit weighing myself to know, like, I haven't the slightest clue how much weight I've lost. Or even if I have, I don't know. And the reason I did was because I started this in July, and 2 to 3 weeks in, I weighed myself, and I had lost some weight. Well, then like a week later, I'd weigh myself again, and then I had gained weight, and I was back to where I started. And I'm like, okay, you know, I do not cheat on this diet. You can ask. Obviously you're not going to ask, but I don't cheat on it. He will, and I'm fine with that, you know. He will have, you know, a roll with dinner, or, you know, the girls get a plate of french fries when we go out to eat, and he'll sneak one. No big deal. And it doesn't bother me. It's like I told him, I don't expect you to do this 100% like I am, and I love you, and I think it's gracious that you've stuck with me this far, and, you know, I am so thankful for that. But, you know, and I don't cheat, but the scale goes back to normal or doesn't move at all. But, so I had seen some friends that I hadn't seen for a while, and they're like, oh yeah, I can see that you've lost weight in your face, you know, this and that, your skin, you're smaller here, but the scale shows nothing. So I get so aggravated with it. I try not to even think about it, and just stick with what I'm doing and go from there. So, having said that, I want to talk about the health update that I have. So, obviously, if you guys have seen my last Chattin with Alana 7 and 8, I talked about this dizziness that I have dealt with since, well, January. And the update with that I have is, I'm taking the medicine that he prescribed every day. So from, I think it was July to November, he's prescribed 1 pill a day. And, you know, obviously I know that, because I work in the medical field, so I know that him prescribing that from July to November, this is going to be a slow process. And I know that. I did, though. I called and I asked. I said, you know, I'm not seeing much of a change. I want to make sure this is on track. And, you know, they said, yes, it's going to be slow. And I have seen improvements. Knock on wood. I have seen improvements. So, before, I would be dizzy all day, all night, all day, all night. Dizzy. Well, now with these pills, it's slowly progressed to where I'm only dizzy at night. I'm only dizzy when I lay down, and I am so thankful for that. And I take the pills. They start with an M. I can't remember the name of them. I take 2 of those a night, and that takes away the dizziness, and then I sleep perfect. So things are, thank you Lord, are so much better with my health, and, you know, God willing, it's gonna only get better. So by November, I don't have to, knock on wood, by November, I don't have to have the tubes put in my ears. Okay. This I am so super excited to talk to you guys about. So along with this thread crocheting that I've been telling you about, I came up with an idea that I am so excited. And what I'm earlier when I had mentioned that I had a pattern that I'm designing that has you know, a row repeat like four to six times. I'm designing snowflakes because I bought, I'm going to insert a picture. Okay, so I bought that little Christmas tree off Amazon. I'll link that for you guys too. I bought that, and I bought a little tree skirt to go with it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to design a snowflake. I haven't decided if I'm going to do every day, once a week, 2 or 3 a week. I haven't decided that yet, but I'm going to fill that Christmas tree full of crocheted snowflakes. Well, the add link for tree and skirt. I think it's like 4 foot tall maybe, but it's pre-lit. It came with the lights on it, and then I got the little Christmas tree skirt at the bottom to go with it. But I am excited. I've done a few, like my mind when I started making or started working with thread, the crochet thread, my mind went nuts. I'm like, I can make this, I can make this, I can make this, you know, all kinds of stuff. So if you guys are willing to stick with me with the crochet thread and, you know, making things out of the different sizes, get your arsenal together because we're gonna come up with some pretty nice stuff. I'm gonna make doilies. I'm gonna make more of the eyeglass cables. Yeah, it's bookmarks, all kinds of stuff. I am super excited about that. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna stop this video here because it's already been 52 minutes. But I'm not gonna stop filming. I'm gonna stop this video because it's been pretty long, and a video this long takes me about anywhere from 11 to 13 hours to upload. Yeah, that's my internet. So I'm gonna stop this here, but I'm gonna go right into filming the next, which will be Crocheting with Alana 10. And I'm gonna show you guys some yarn I've got. I've got stuff to show you that I found at resale antique thrift stores. Yes, go to that video. It's gonna be up within, you know, 2 days of me posting this one. We made a special trip to Wisconsin, which is about 10 and a half, 11 hours north of me. And for those of you that know, there is something that I didn't know about until we drove past the sign on the interstate. There is a store in Stevens Point, Wisconsin, and we stopped there. I couldn't shop very long because, like I said, it was a 10 and a half, 11 hour drive home, and we had to get home. I'm gonna let you guys figure out what it is, but there's a store in Stevens Point, Wisconsin, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is the only store. Yes, but I got him to stop. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna end this video here. I'm gonna go right into filming the next one, so keep an eye out for the next video because you're gonna see some cool stuff, and I am so super excited to show you guys. So, like always, guys, you are the best. I'm gonna give you all a big hug. And subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know what you guys think of all these ideas I got coming, and subscribe, leave me a comment, hit that thumbs up, go to my Facebook and join that group. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!